Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into something I am absolutely thrilled to share with you, because we are essentially talking about the ultimate software upgrade for the human mind. Think about it. We absolutely obsess over downloading the latest iOS to fix, tiny minor bugs on our phones, but we'll walk around with the exact same anxiety-ridden, outdated emotional software for decades. So how often do we actually update the foundational operating system of our own hearts? Today, we're drawing on some truly ancient wisdom to perform a system-wide update. It's an upgrade that shifts us from a default setting of isolated stress straight into a boundless network of joy. I want you to really sit with this profound question for a second. What if one single thought could change the entire universe? It sounds completely like science fiction, right? But what we're actually exploring today is the incredible, scalable power of your mind's infinite potential. Because when you change the core intention behind your thoughts, the ripple effects completely alter how you interact with everything and everyone around you. Okay, let's dive into the source code for this upgrade. It comes from a classic Buddhist text called the Bodhicaryavatara, and the commentary we're looking at highlights this specific, incredibly powerful line. How much more so wishing to remove infinite suffering and achieve infinite virtue for all beings. Think about that. When you only focus on yourself, your joy is entirely limited to one single person's success, your personal wins. But if you genuinely want the best for everyone, well, every single good thing that happens anywhere in the world becomes a reason for you to celebrate. To make sense of all this, we're going to run through a quick 4-part update menu. Number 1, the code base. Number 2, the daily algorithm. Number 3, troubleshooting. And number 4, the network effect. All right, kicking things off with section 1, the code base, shifting to boundless altruism. We really need to understand the fundamental architecture of this philosophy, which requires a pretty radical shift away from our default settings. Think of Mind 1.0 as the small self. It's totally driven by self-interest, maybe a little bit of small goodness, where we just want our immediate family to be safe and our own lives to be peaceful. It's kind of a defensive posture. But Mind 2.0, the upgraded mind, is what's known as the Bodhisattva path. It shifts completely from purely personal practice to boundless altruistic thinking. The ultimate goal here isn't just to make your own life bearable. It is to actively pull all beings out of suffering. It's a massive, breathtaking expansion of how you view your life. And that brings us to the absolute core term of our explainer today, bodhicitta. It's defined as the infinite aspiration to remove all suffering and bring ultimate joy and virtue to every sentient being. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is that this isn't about miserable self-sacrifice. It's not about emptying your cup just to fill someone else's. It's about realizing your cup is intimately connected to an infinite ocean. Taking on the suffering of others doesn't mean you lose your own happiness. Actually, by removing your endless self-obsession, you are unlocking infinite personal and collective joy. Moving right along to section 2, the daily algorithm, compassion at work and home. So the theory is beautiful, but how does this actually run in the real world? To patch this new altruistic code into your daily routine, the source material suggests a super simple 3-step framework. Number 1, a morning vow. Number 2, a midday application. And number 3, an evening reflection. Let's look at step 1, the morning OS boot. Imagine the physical act of waking up. Your alarm goes off, your feet hit the cold floor, and usually, boom, the stress of the day instantly rushes in. But what if, before you even touch your phone, before you check a single email, you boot up your mind with this thought: may all my actions today remove suffering and bring joy to others. Imagine starting your day with an aspiration that incredibly wide. It instantly expands your perspective way beyond your immediate to-do list and sets a powerful, positive filter for whatever the day is going to throw at you. Let's look at how this plays out as a family life patch. Picture this. You walk into the kitchen after a super long day and your spouse has left a massive mess in the sink. Again, you feel that visceral spike of annoyance, right? Mind 1.0 immediately wants to criticize, pick a fight, demand an apology. But with Mind 2.0, you take a deep breath, you actively pause before reacting, you replace that judgment with tolerance. Instead of snapping, you generate a genuine, silent wish for their peace and wisdom. It sounds almost too simple, but the tangible relief that follows when you just don't start an unnecessary argument is incredible. Transforming that tiny moment of domestic friction into an exercise of bodhicitta literally changes the energetic temperature of your entire home. Now let's take this same concept to the office with the workplace upgrade. Workplaces are, let's be honest, breeding grounds for Mind 1.0. Competition, stress, defensiveness. Imagine you're in a high-stakes meeting, and a coworker is constantly trying to one-up you, maybe subtly taking credit or undermining your points. The natural instinct is to fight back or get super defensive. But what if you viewed their aggressive stress with empathy? In a radical, totally disarming act, you actually choose to help them shine instead. You validate their good idea. You mentor them. By transforming toxic competition into compassionate mutual assistance, you completely neutralize the toxicity of the room. You aren't just doing a job anymore. You're becoming a true leader who is actively practicing boundless altruism. Okay, let's hit section 3, troubleshooting, transforming adversity into empathy. Because of course, systems crash, we all encounter errors, bad days, and truly difficult people. The ultimate troubleshooting tool for these moments is a profound practice called exchanging self and others. When you encounter favorable or unfavorable circumstances, you basically flip the script. If you see illness, you practice sharing their suffering. If you see enemies, you empathize with their cause. And if you see someone else's success, instead of feeling that bitter little pang of jealousy, you genuinely rejoice in their good fortune. Honestly, that last one is a massive life hack. Rejoicing in the success of others is the ultimate way to expand a small act of kindness into a boundless aspiration. You are quite literally getting to experience joy for a victory you didn't even have to work for. Let's zoom in on how to handle enemies, or just people who deeply frustrate us, with a quick situational exercise. I want you to picture a specific, annoying person in your life right now. You got them? Okay, now shift your negative thinking to this realization. They seek happiness, but create suffering. May I help them realize cause and effect? It's a profound shift in empathy, isn't it? You recognize that this person, no matter how awful or frustrating their actions might be, is fundamentally exactly like you. They just want to be happy. They are just making some deeply flawed calculations on how to actually get there. And similarly, when facing illness, whether it's yours or someone else's, we practice compassionate contemplation. You think, may I take their suffering, and may they find total peace. Now, you aren't literally making yourself sick here. You are expanding your heart to share the heavy weight of their experience. When someone is ill, they so often feel intensely isolated and alone in their pain. This practice bridges that gap of isolation. When you face illness with this exact mindset, the fear and the loneliness begin to melt away, and they get replaced by deep, empathetic connection. Finally, section 4, the network effect, dedicating merit to all. Just compare the mental real estate of focusing only on my well-being versus the well-being of all beings. If you only ever seek happiness for yourself, your potential for joy is limited to a tiny, fragile little sliver of the universe. And think about the sheer exhaustion of always having to defend and promote and constantly worry about that tiny, small self-slice. It is so tiring. But when you invite the whole world into your heart, your capacity for joy becomes utterly massive. The relief, that profound feeling of lightness that comes from just letting go of that self-obsession, is absolutely monumental. So how do we actually maintain that massive capacity for joy? Well, the final step in our algorithm is dedication. At the end of the day, or really after any good deed, you consciously dedicate every small act of kindness to the infinite network of all sentient beings. This is essentially compound interest for the soul. You do the hard work once, you hold your tongue when you're annoyed, you help a struggling colleague, but by dedicating it, you distribute the positive dividends to everyone, everywhere. You take a finite, tiny action and use it to accumulate immeasurable, boundless merit. And because the network of beings is boundless, this mental shift scales your joy infinitely. That is the true magic of bodhicitta right there. It is a staggering philosophical concept when you really truly think about it. You aren't just doing good deeds anymore. You are multiplying them by infinity every single time you dedicate your actions to the universe. Which brings us to the end of our explainer, and to the absolute ultimate question for you. Are you ready to upgrade your mind from achieving for yourself to achieving for all? The codebase is right there. The algorithm is set, and the network is waiting for you. Try booting up your mind with this intention tomorrow morning, and just watch how it transforms your world. Keep learning, keep expanding that heart, and I will see you next time.